You're staring at your bank account. Again, it's the 15th of the month and you've got 370 euros left until payday. Rent was paid, utilities cleared. But there's still 2 weeks to go and your stomach just dropped because you forgot about that annual insurance payment that auto-debited this morning. 180 euros. Gone. And now you're doing that mental math you've done 1,000 times before. Can I make it? What can I cut? Which bill can I push to next month? This isn't living, this is surviving. And the worst part, you make decent money. You're not broke. You're just trapped in a cycle where every month resets to zero and you have no idea how to break out. But here's what nobody's telling you about that trap. There's a map out of it. A specific sequence of moves that takes you from paycheck to your first million euros. And it's not about getting lucky or inheriting money or starting some magical business. It's about understanding that building wealth happens in 3 distinct stages, and each stage requires completely different tactics. Most people fail because they use stage 1 tactics in stage 2, or they try stage 3 moves when they're still in stage 1, and they wonder why nothing works. My name is Leo. I learned investing in the United States, then moved to Europe and spent 9 years reverse engineering what actually works here for ordinary people on ordinary salaries. And if you're trying to build wealth in Europe, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, because we're about to walk through the exact 3-stage blueprint that takes you from 0 to 1 million euros, even if you're starting with nothing. Even if you're drowning in that paycheck to paycheck cycle right now, this system works. But only if you understand which stage you're in and what that stage actually requires. Because here's the thing, everyone gets backwards about wealth building. They think it's linear. Save a little more each month. Invest a little more each year. Keep doing the same things and eventually you'll be rich. That's exactly backwards. Building wealth isn't linear, it's staged. And each stage has its own rules, its own psychology, and its own finish line. Stage 1 is 0 to 5,000 euros. Stage 2 is 5,000 to 100,000 euros. Stage 3 is 100,000 euros to 1 million. And the tactics that work in stage 1 will actively hurt you in stage 3. The mindset that gets you through stage 2 will trap you if you try to use it in stage 1. This isn't one journey, it's 3 journeys stacked on top of each other. And right now, we're going to walk through all 3. Let's start with stage 1, 0 to 5,000 euros. And I need you to understand something about this stage that most financial advice completely ignores. This is the most psychologically brutal stage of the entire journey. Not because the numbers are hard, they're not. 5,000 euros is achievable. But because being at 0 is crushing. There's data on this. Low wealth correlates directly with mental health problems, physical health problems, relationship problems. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, any problem becomes an emergency. Your car breaks down? Emergency. You get sick? Emergency. Your kid needs new shoes? You're doing mental gymnastics to figure out which bill doesn't get paid this month. That stress compounds. It affects your sleep, your decision-making, your ability to think long-term, which is exactly what you need to do to escape. This is the trap. Stage 1 requires long-term thinking in the exact moment when your brain is wired for short-term survival. But here's what you need to burn into your mind right now. You have to escape stage 1, even if it makes your life worse in the short term, even if it hurts, because every day you stay at 0 is a day you're building nothing. So how do you get to 5,000 euros? There are exactly 2 levers you can pull. Increase income or cut costs. That's it. No other options exist. And which one you pull depends entirely on where you're starting. If you're overspending, the math is simple. You need to cut. Move to a smaller apartment, sell the car, stop eating out, cancel the subscriptions, all of it. And yes, this will hurt. Yes, your friends will judge you. Yes, you'll feel like you're going backwards. But here's the reality. If you can cut your expenses and save 300 to 500 euros per month, you'll hit 5,000 euros in 12 to 18 months. That's fast. That's achievable. That's the way out. But what if you're already living on bare minimum? What if there's nothing left to cut? Then you need the second lever. Income increase. And in stage 1, that doesn't mean getting promoted. It means working more hours. Second job, extra shifts, weekend gig, whatever it takes. I'm going to tell you something personal. My parent worked a full-time university job and then sold books every single evening. Came home after 10 p.m. Did this for years. Plural, not months, years. And that decision created a different income level for the next generation. That's what stage 1 sometimes requires. Sacrifice that feels unreasonable. But the alternative is staying trapped. Now let me tell you the two things that will absolutely destroy you in stage 1. Two wealth killers that make escape impossible. First one is debt. You cannot build wealth while paying 10 to 20% interest rates. It's mathematically impossible. Every euro you save gets eaten by interest on money you already spent. So forget credit cards, forget payday loans, forget consumer loans of any kind. If you have debt, paying it off is your stage 1 goal, not saving 5,000 euros. Paying off the debt. Second wealth killer is gambling. And I'm including day trading in this. I'm including Forex. I'm including options. If you're in stage 1 and you're trying to trade your way out, you're gambling. Full stop. The house always wins. And you're the house's favorite customer. Stage 1 takeaway. Save 300 to 500 euros per month. Avoid debt like it's poison. Don't gamble. Get to 5,000 euros as fast as humanly possible. That's your only job. Now here's where most people make their first massive mistake. They hit 5,000 euros and they think the same tactics will get them to 100,000. They think if saving 500 euros per month got them here, they'll just keep doing that until they're rich. Let me show you why that doesn't work. 500 euros per month for 12 months is 6,000 euros per year. To get from 5,000 to 100,000, you need 95,000 more euros. At 6,000 per year, that's almost 16 years. 16 years of living like you're still in stage 1. 16 years of no vacations, no upgrades, no breathing room. And here's the thing, you won't make it. Nobody makes it that way. Because humans aren't wired to sustain that level of restriction for 16 years. You'll break. You'll burn out. You'll convince yourself you deserve a reward, and suddenly you're back at 30,000 euros wondering what happened. Stage 2 requires different tactics. You can't cut your way to 100,000 euros. You have to earn your way there. What I'm about to show you next is the thing that took me years to figure out. Stage 2 isn't about working harder. It's about getting paid more per hour. Not working more hours. Getting paid more for the same hours. And this is where 90% of people get stuck because they don't believe they can. They think their salary is fixed. They think their earning potential is capped. They think wanting more money is greedy. All of that is programming designed to keep you in place. The truth is, most people can realistically add 30 to 50% to their income. Many can double it, and it takes somewhere between 6 months and a few years depending on the path you choose. So let me give you the 5 tactics for boosting income in stage 2. I'm going to list them from easiest to hardest. Tactic 1. Negotiate with your current employer for a promotion. This is the lowest risk option because you already have the job. You already know the company. You're just asking to be paid more for taking on more responsibility. Tactic 2. Interview for a new job every 2 to 3 years. This is the most reliable way to increase income in modern employment. Staying at the same company for 10 years is financial self-sabotage. Job hopping can easily net you 20 to 50% income increases per move. Tactic 3. Upskill with adjacent skills. If you're an accountant, learn CFO level skills. If you're a social media manager, learn paid advertising. Don't learn something completely unrelated. Learn the skill right next to what you already do. That's the fastest path to higher pay. Tactic 4. Negotiate results. Base pay or commission. I've seen this transform incomes in Eastern Europe specifically. Typical salary is 1,000 to 2,000 euros per month, but salespeople on commission, 5,000 to 10,000 euros per month. Same economy, different pay structure. Tactic 5. Switch fields entirely. Highest risk, requires significant savings as a buffer, but sometimes necessary if your entire industry is low paid. Notice what's not on that list. Starting a business. You know why? Because most businesses fail, and the ones that succeed take years to become profitable. I'm not saying don't start a business ever. I'm saying in stage 2, when your goal is getting from 5,000 to 100,000 euros as reliably as possible, employment with strategic job changes is the path. Save the business risk for stage 3 when you have a cushion. Your goal in stage 2 is to boost your income by at least 1,000 to 3,000 euros per month minimum. And here's the part where people sabotage themselves. As your income rises, your spending rises. You get a promotion. Suddenly you upgrade your apartment, you buy a nicer car, you start eating out more because you can afford it now, and your savings rate stays exactly the same. You're making more, but you're not building wealth faster. Let me tell you what this looked like for my family. We eventually lived in a beautiful house. We traveled. We spent a year in Barcelona. The kids went to private schools. But during the stage 2 years, when we were climbing from 5,000 to 100,000, we lived in a €200 per month apartment. We drove a 17-year-old car while employees drove BMWs. We lived below our means intentionally, because we understood that stage 2 is a sprint. The faster you get through it, the sooner you unlock stage 3. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of 90% of people. But don't stop now, because this next part is where the game changes completely. Let's talk about investing. In stage 1, investing is optional. Your €5,000 can sit in a savings account. It's fine. The goal is just getting to 5,000. But in stage 2, investing becomes essential. Here's why. Let's say you have €5,000 and you save €1,000 per month. With zero investment returns, you'll hit €100,000 in 8 years. But with 9% annual returns, you hit €100,000 in 6 years. That's 2 years saved. That's a 25% reduction in time. And those 2 years matter because you're not just building wealth, you're building time freedom. But here's where it gets really interesting. In stage 2, how you invest matters, but it's not life or death critical. In stage 3, how you invest becomes as important as how you work. Stage 3, €100,000 to €1,000,000. This is where everything changes. Because your money starts making more money than you can save. Let me show you the math. 10% return on €100,000 is €10,000 per year. That's €830 per month that you did nothing to earn. Your money earned it. Now let's say you've climbed to €300,000. 10% on that is €30,000 per year, €2,500 per month. In stage 3, your investment income starts to exceed your saving ability, which means working hard is still essential, but you can't afford to make investing mistakes. Picking individual stocks that crash, mistiming the market, buying high and selling low because you panicked, paying 1 to 2% annual fees to some fund manager who underperforms the index. All of these mistakes cost you years, plural. Now let me tie all of this together because when you see how these pieces connect, everything changes. Stage 3 has 2 paths. Path 1 is patient and long-term. This is the most reliable approach. And I need to destroy a myth right now. The global average millionaire is 57 years old. Being rich in your 30s or 40s is statistically very rare. Only 1% of American millionaires are under 30. Only 6% are under 40. Instagram is lying to you. The influencer with the Lamborghini at 25? Either generational wealth or they're renting the car for the photo shoot. Here's the real math. You start stage 3 with €100,000. You add €1,000 per month, you get 9% annual returns. You know how long it takes to hit 1 million? 18 years. If you start at 30, you're a millionaire at 48. If you start at 40, you're a millionaire at 58. And you know what? That's wonderful. That's a life well lived. That's financial security. That's generational wealth you're building. Don't let social media make you feel like 58 is a failure. But let's talk about path 2, the higher risk business path. If you want to be a millionaire significantly younger, saving and investing usually isn't enough. You need more risk. You need a business. And I want to be very clear about what this looks like because I've walked this path. I co-founded a financial services company, but I did it with years of experience. I partnered with professionals who knew the industry. We had €2 million in investor backing, and even with all of that, it was high risk. We could have lost everything. The difference is we succeeded. The company went public on the Nasdaq Baltic Exchange, and that ownership stake jumped my net worth from 6 figures to 7 figures. But that's survivorship bias talking. For every company like ours, there are 99 that failed. The entrepreneurs who tried the same thing with the same work ethic and the same intelligence but hit the wrong market at the wrong time with the wrong product. So if you want path 2, go in with eyes open. It's faster. It's also riskier. We're in the home stretch now, and I've saved something important for the end. Let's talk about the psychology that makes or breaks this entire journey, because you can have the perfect plan and still fail if your head isn't right. Stage 1 psychology is survival mode versus growth mode. Your brain is wired to avoid pain right now. It wants you to buy the thing that makes you feel better today. It doesn't care about future you. You have to override that. You have to make decisions for future you even when present you is suffering. That's the only way out. Stage 2 psychology is identity shift. You're no longer the person who can't afford things. You're the person who can afford things but chooses not to buy them yet. That's power, that's discipline. But it requires you to stop comparing yourself to people who are in stage 3 while you're in stage 2. Your coworker with the nice car? Either he's in stage 3 or he's faking it with debt. Either way, it's not your race. Stage 3 psychology is patience and process. You're wealthy now. The system is working, but it's working slowly, and you're going to be tempted to speed it up by taking stupid risks. Don't. Trust the boring index funds. Trust the compound interest. Trust the process. Here's the hard truth that might sting a little. Most people never escape stage 1. They stay trapped their entire lives, not because they're not smart enough, not because they don't work hard enough, but because they don't believe stage 2 is possible. They don't believe they can earn more. They don't believe they deserve more. And that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't believe you can negotiate a raise, you won't try. If you don't believe you can switch jobs for higher pay, you'll stay put. If you don't believe stage 3 is real, you'll never make the sacrifices stage 2 requires. So let me tell you what I believe about you. If you've watched this far, you're not most people. You're someone who's looking for the map, and I just gave you the map. Stage 1, 0 to 5,000 euros. Do everything humanly possible to get there. Cut costs if you can. Work extra if you must. Avoid debt like it's a curse. Don't gamble your way out, just get to 5,000 as fast as possible. Stage 2, 5,000 to 100,000 euros. This stage is totally worth the effort. Keep your costs low even as your income rises. Boost your income through negotiation, job changes, or upskilling. Invest consistently. Get through this stage as fast as you can because stage 3 is waiting. Stage 3, 100,000 euros to 1 million euros. This is where you choose. Slow and reliable over 18 years, or faster and higher, risk through business. Either path works, but both require you to invest intelligently along the way. That's the system. 3 stages, 3 different playbooks, all leading to the same destination. Your future millionaire self is looking back at this exact moment, and they're either thanking you for starting today or wondering why you waited. The path is clear. The math works. The only question left is whether you're going to walk it. If there's a money topic that's keeping you up at night, tell me in the comments. That's what this channel is for. Breaking down the complex financial stuff that nobody else explains properly. And if this helped, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. Your stage 1 starts now.